So just in time for Valentine's Day, I'm going to show you how to do a couple of effective love spells in this video. Now, I will say that any of these spells, I advise that you do a purification ritual beforehand. It just protects you and it makes the magic a lot more effective. But I'll put that at the end of the video so we can just get straight into the actual spell work itself. So this is a Find Your Soulmate spell. Now, I will say this is not a spell for short-term relationships. This is for people that are looking for something much more long-term and lasting. And the whole point of this spell is that you don't target it towards a specific person or image of a person. You are connecting to the soulmate that is right for you, not who you think is right for you. So just take that into account. And for this spell in particular, please try the purification ritual beforehand. So what will you need for this spell? Well, you'll need 4 pink candles and you will need some form of oil to anoint the candles. I personally would go for rose oil. If you don't have rose oil, you can make your own. It's pretty straightforward. You can just use olive oil and rose petals and just gently heat it in a pan. I cover how to make oils in a previous video, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. But you can quite easily buy rose oil, but these items are kind of essential to do this kind of magic. So 4 pink candles, and you're going to put these candles in each corner of the room that you're going to carry this work out, your ritual space. Now, before doing this, like I just mentioned, you need to anoint the candles. Now, I would quite liberally anoint the candles and just see, do I have a candle? Yes, let me grab this one. There we go. So this is obviously nearly half burnt, but you will have fresh candles. I would start roughly in the middle and have the candle pointing towards you. It doesn't matter which direction, but you anoint by pulling towards you like this. And if you want to do the top side, just turn the candle round and go around and quite liberally use that oil on the candles. Place them in all 4 corners of the room that you're going to work, and then you're ready to get down to the actual spell itself. Now, in the center of this space is where you're going to sit and do the work, and this is where you need to have a pen and paper as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit down and you're going to create the feeling of love as you're sat in this space. You're going to envisage the entire space being flooded with pink energy, very vibrant pink energy. Feel that love around you, the love for yourself and the love that you're pushing outwards as well. And once you feel that energetic change, write your name down on the paper and then write down the type of person that you want to attract. Write down the qualities, write down the reason why you're carrying out this spell. What is missing from your life? What do you need? What do you want? Don't put any of the negatives or the things that you don't want. Concentrate just on the positives. In terms of the physicality of the person, you can be specific, but personally I recommend it's not the best to do that. I know some people are, very specific in their tastes. I will only date guys that are 6'5", and some guys will only date blonde girls. I think that you're missing out on a large section of society by being so specific with that. This is about your soulmate. So just keep that in mind as you write this down. So once you've written this down, fold the paper towards you a few times, and you can keep this in your wallet or purse or upon your person. Or you could even keep it under your pillow or mattress, but I would keep it close to you. Now, start to concentrate on your own light, your own energy again. Close your eyes and start to visualize that this energy is pouring out of you. It's flooding out of you and completely filling the room around you, the space around you. Once you have that visualization locked in, feel this energy expand even further, and it connects to what you would call the astral. It connects to that energy outside of our vision, our normal experience. But it connects to the astral. And when it does that, it connects to a matching light. This is your soulmate. And feel that pull, almost like magnets coming together. These two lights now bond, they join. Now you can hold on this visualization. You can even start to talk and communicate to your soulmate if you want to at this point. But just really enjoy, feel this love, this connection, this bond that you're creating with this other person, this very special person that you're bringing into your life. Once you feel the energy start to drop, then I would suggest that you just slowly relax out of the meditative state and just come back. It's very important to keep this commitment that you've written down on paper as close to you as possible. And this is the contradiction, but also forget about it. So for me, I keep things in my wallet. I forget that they're there. And then at some point I'll, be going into my wallet to get something and remember, like, oh my God, I did this ritual with Leviathan 6 months ago. I completely forgot, and it works. Brilliant. So keep it close, but don't focus on it. Forget about it. I know that's a contradiction, but that's kind of how magic works. Unfortunately, you let it go. I've mentioned that a lot of times in my videos of let it go. Allow the magic to just do its work. It usually takes around 2 months. Have patience. This spell is very, very simple but effective. 2 months, give or take, is roughly the time that you will have forgotten, you'll be in a relationship, you'll be incredibly happy, and your life will be full of love and abundance. And hopefully you'll, remember, oh my God, I did this spell and it worked. But enjoy and good luck with it. Now, this second spell is very similar to the first with intent. This is to invoke companionship. Not quite soulmates, and hopefully you'll know the difference between your soulmate and companionship. This could also be used for other things outside of love, but as we're in February, we're approaching Valentine's Day, let's focus on that love. Now, this is working with the divine spirits of Rosier, or Rosier, however you want to pronounce it. You can edit it, and I always say that with any of the spells that I share, feel free to edit it. This is a guideline. This is how I perform it, but there's no really fixed rule with any of these things. If you want to, edit it and do it in your own way, I think that's the best thing to do. You will need a couple of things with this. So you will need 2 pink candles, some pink thread or ribbon. You will need a piece of parchment paper, and you will need some rose incense cones. If you have rose oil as well, that would be absolutely perfect, but we can be a little bit flexible on that. So, how to do this spell? Well, the first thing that you will need to do is to light the rose incense that you've got, and then you're going to carve into one of the candles. So you will carve your name into one of the candles. Don't do it around, do it from top to bottom, if you know what I mean. So, starting here and going down, don't do it around. The second candle you will leave blank. Do not carve anything into it. Don't be tempted to carve the name of a specific person or try and put the energy of a specific person into it. That's not what we're doing here. Very similar to the first spell. We're pulling the right person, not the person that you think. Now, just very quickly on that, we are humans. We have, desires, needs, we have flaws. Why do so many relationships fail? Because people aren't right for each other a lot of the time. So think of it in that aspect. You may desperately want this person that I've had a crush on at work for 6 months, and I have to have them. Yeah, probably not. It's probably more your passion speaking than something a bit deeper than that. So if that's, your intention, do a spell with Asmodeus or a spirit similar to that, but this is for love. So keep that in mind. So once you've carved your name into one of the candles, you're now going to anoint both candles. And like I said earlier, anoint from the middle, bring the oil towards yourself. Be very liberal with it. Cover the candle in the oil. At that point, we're now going to invoke Rosier. And we're going to invoke Rosier by drawing out the sigil and chanting his N at the same time. So his N, and let me just remind myself, is Serena, Alora, Rosier, Aken. And just have that memorized in your brain as you repeatedly say this. But don't just say it. Feel it as well. Feel the energy change. Feel the energy change within you, within the room. Feel that warmth, that love start to flood all around you, from you as well. Now, once you have drawn out the sigil, you have it in front of you, and you feel that the chanting, the invocation of Rosier's N has started to work. You feel that energetic change. The invocation is complete at that point. That's when you're going to light both candles now. And when you do light the candles, the pink thread or ribbon that you have, you're going to bound both candles together. Do this at the bottom. Be careful because the flames are lit, and I know it's a weird order, but this is the order that works. Light the candles, then bind them together. Tie them very tightly together so they're completely next to each other. Now, as you are tying these candles together, start to visualize, start to imagine companionship, a compatible person of love coming into your life. Feel how that changes your life, how that changes your experience when you get up in the morning, that exuberance, that joy for life that you have, all of the fun, the experiences, that passion, love that you're going to share with this person. Really feel that being put into the candles, into the spell work that you're doing as you are tying them together, bonding them together. Now you're going to use the parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you can use normal plain paper if that's the best you've got. But at this point, you're now going to write down, just like the last spell, your name and then the specifics of this companionship in the most positive way that you can. Once you've done that, you're going to draw out the sigil for a second time, and that is now complete in that part of the work. You will now fold this towards yourself, fold it multiple times if you need to, and then what we're going to do, because we've now committed to it, we've put the energy into it, we're now going to release it. So hopefully you've got some kind of fireproof bowl, some kind of offering bowl, something that you can burn things safely in. Be very careful. I say that every time that I mention burning things. Do not burn yourself or burn your property down. Please be careful. But at this point, you're going to hold the paper over the flames until it's lit and drop it into the offering bowl very safely. You will then let the candles burn down completely. And once that's happened, you're going to mix the ashes of the burnt paper and the remaining wax and the burnt bits of the candle that are all left. You're going to mix that together and you're going to keep it in some kind of vial or something that you can keep it in. I don't know what other options there would be, but I'm sure that there are some. Just some kind of object that you can put these materials into and keep safely. You're going to keep it on your person for one full lunar cycle. Doesn't matter when you start, when you finish, but it needs to be one full cycle. At the end of that cycle, you can dispose of them. I would recommend either doing it in running water, or you can just bury it or give it to the air if that's best for you. But by that point, you will have had companionship and love brought into your life. So that is a couple of love spells, and they do work. They are very effective. They're reasonably simplistic to do, but simplicity and effectiveness is, for me personally, absolutely perfect in magic. If it's simple and it works, perfect. Now, as promised, this is the purification part of the video. I personally think it's essential. Some people don't. It's a personal choice. Some people are just impatient and just want to get straight to the magic. For me, it puts me in the right state, but it also removes any negativity, any buildup of sludge, if you want to call it that. And that's often where the problems in magic come from. So personally, give it a go. So to start this process, you need to have a bath. If you've only got a shower, I'm sure there's ways of improvising and working around it, but a bath is preferable. And you want to mix in a healthy amount of sea salt and rose petals. The fresher the better. But if you've got dried ones, that's okay too. But you want rose petals, particularly pink or red. Now get in the bath, cleanse yourself thoroughly, put your head under the water, kind of like a normal bath. But the whole point is that you're purifying and cleansing yourself. So keep that in mind whilst you're in the bath. I would advise to not take your mobile phone. Just concentrate on yourself. This is a moment just for you. Once you get out of the bath, I would say to get a large glass of fresh water and drink the whole thing at that point. You know, taking into account that cold water is kind of often a symbol of purification, and humans need water. We drink it, and it flushes toxins through as it keeps us alive. It is part of that purification process. Now, the next part, you do need to have some privacy with this. Whether if you've got your own apartment or house, that's perfect. If you have your own bedroom, you could potentially stay locked in the bathroom if that's better for you, if that's the only place you've got privacy. But you're basically going to be performing this next part. I personally would say do it naked, or you could just wear like a bathrobe. But I think being naked is just, it's more you at your sort of more basic level and sort of exposed, if that makes sense, and pure. So I would suggest do this next part, skyclad as we call it, or fully naked. You'll want to invoke some balance into this space, so I would suggest an elemental circle. I'll put a link to my elemental circle casting video in the description if you haven't seen that already. But you need to balance this space, so an elemental circle is perfect for doing that. And now you will need to burn sage. Be quite liberal with it if you can. Obviously don't set off any smoke alarms, fire alarms, but you want the smoke to cover your body. I use a stick, and I will start from my head, and I will literally waft the smoke over every inch of my body, back and front. Be careful again not to burn yourself, please, because they do get very hot when you light them. And I did burn one of my feet once doing this, so just be careful, don't do what I did. So during this this meditation part of this purification process, what you want to be visualizing is that you breathe in silver energy, pull it right down into your body, right down into your stomach, really pure silver energy, and you breathe out black smoke. And what you're doing here is you're pushing out any of that unwanted energy, any of that buildup of stress, anger, disappointment, all of those negative things that hold you back. So each breath out, push that black smoke out. It usually takes about 15 minutes for this whole process. The smoke should start to, after about 15 minutes, become lighter and lighter. And the whole point is, at the end of this process, and you'll know when it's done, you're breathing in the silver, and as you breathe out, it's white. So they're almost the same kind of colour. There's very little transition. Now, I would also recommend doing this seated and having your hands pressed firmly into the floor as you are doing this visualization exercise. And I say that because what I started to visualize was not black smoke, but almost like black oil, sludgy horribleness was coming out of my hands and going down into the earth where it was getting recycled. And that was really helping push all of this stuff out of my body. So for me, connecting my hands to the floor and really pushing in and feeling the connection to the earth helped me just get all of this out of my body. I'd recommend doing this probably about once, I was going to say once a week, but that might be a bit much, but repeat as necessary, but probably about once a month. Takes, a bath in 15 minutes, so it's not too bad. You'll find that at the end of this, you'll feel very, very balanced, very calm, purified, if that's a feeling. But you kind of know what I mean. You will just you'll feel lighter and just more balanced because you've balanced yourself essentially. And that's it. I tried to fly through this as quickly as possible, so it wasn't me talking for 10 minutes and then showing the spells. I just tried to get into it as quickly as possible. Hopefully they make sense, and I'm sure that if you follow them, even if you edit them and do them in your own way, I'm sure that you will have some good success. So enjoy the results. Thank you.